I have found that B2B marketers have such an opportunity to learn from B2C. First, because often they just don't do it, and so they really have a chance to differentiate themselves. But there's a lot of things that B2C is doing that can really help with thought leadership. And before, I have these three things I want to share, but before I do, let's just talk for a minute about how B2B and B2C are different, all right? So first of all, B2C has a different buyer, right? B2C is a consumer, one person usually, where B2B tends to be a team of buyers, and that team of buyers has to come together to decide to buy. That difference makes a huge difference in how you go to market,
Sure.
right? And then the second key difference is how the decision is made. With B2C, it's much more emotional, and with B2B, it can lean towards being more logical or rational, the decision. Well, this is where B2B can learn so much, because the reality is those buyers in B2B, they're people too, right? And actually emotion is a huge opportunity. So that's the first thing that thought leadership programs can learn from B2C is don't forget emotion. I read a study that said 90% of decisions are made unconsciously based on emotion. And then consciously, logic is used to rationalize that emotional decision that was already made. And then the second thing that B2B can learn from B2C is it's not about you. It's so easy. So I'll go to B2C is good at this, right? They know their customer, and they tell the story that helps that customer make the decision to buy from them. B2B marketers can be stuck inside thinking about their company and their product, especially in thought leadership. You need to get out of you and talk about your customer's issue, and the thought leadership should be about an issue that your customer cares about. They don't want to hear about you, especially with your thought leadership. And the third one is don't overcomplicate things. Because B2B is selling to this team of buyers, it's a real easy mistake to make to create a real complicated set of personas and sales processes, trying to reach all these different people with different stories. And I'm not saying you don't need to think about all those different people, but the most powerful thought leadership simplifies that using the 80-20 rule and says, who's the target of our thought leadership? Who's the decision maker is probably the most likely candidate, but who is that one persona that we really are gonna, if nothing else happens, we're gonna change the mind of that person, and then organize all of your efforts to do that. What you'll find is if you do that, there's plenty of overflow benefit to the other constituents.